I'm Matthew and welcome to MidNite Solar's tutorial on how to replace inductors in your Classic. What you're going to need are a torque driver, torqued to 18 inch-pounds, a power screwdriver, a pair of needle nose pliers, and an 80-watt soldering iron. So let's go ahead and get started. So first we'll take out the screws, the casting lid, and we will remove the lid like that. Alright, so first what we're going to want to do is remove the control board to the Classic and set it somewhere safe, and remove the white shield, get our power driver, and remove all the screws on the FET bar and these 3 mounting screws. Go. So I want you to note that when you remove the mounting screws from the power board, there's these black washers, and I want you to make sure that you don't lose those. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we are going to desolder one of our inductors. So take your hot iron, your needle nose pliers, and you're going to want to go ahead and just heat this up right here. And your needle nose pliers, and just kind of pry up the copper pad. Just like that. Then you're going to want to do the same on the other side. Alright, so now we're going to take out our power board. So remove the top fan wire, pull off the power board, and note that the inductor is left behind. Remove your 2 bottom fan wires, and go ahead and take off the old sill pad while we're at it. Now, something to keep in mind while you're replacing your inductors is that they need to be facing opposite directions. And if you look here, you can see what I mean. There's this point on the inductor right along this ridge, and you want that facing the other way from the other inductor. Now, just to illustrate the point, we have our inductor over here that's not quite inserted yet, and you'll see that the arrow that we're talking about is pointing out that direction. And on this one, it's slanting the other way, and it's pointing out towards the bottom of the board. Alright, so now we are going to go ahead and take a paper towel or something of the like and clean off our old FET bar of any remains of the sill pad that may have been there before. Like that. And remove our old inductor. Next, we're going to put on the new FET sill pad. Being very careful to not scratch it with our fingernails. That. We're going to drop in our new inductor. Now I want you to remember that the new inductor will have a sill pad along the bottom here that comes from the factory attached. Drop it in, making sure that we are keeping the same orientation we talked about earlier. Put on our new top sill pad for the inductor that will come from the factory. And put on the bottom fan connectors. Alright, now when you are attaching these fans, I want you to remember that they are orientation sensitive. You'll see that there is a black and a red wire. And this is labeled black and red on the board, so you know which way they're supposed to be connected. Go ahead and put that on. And then the other one right next to it. Go ahead and drop that in. And all right, now we're going to put on our top fan wire, and I want you again to make sure the orientation of the black and red wires is correct. it'll be labeled on the board. Let's go ahead and snap that into place. Just like that. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to initially bend these over, take our needle nose pliers, and poke them into place. I know how it looks, but it's the most efficient way to do it. Like that. Next, we're going to go ahead and start heating them up. Get our solder here. Get that started, just like that. What you're going to need to do is hold these down with the pliers, because they will try to pop up out of the solder while you're doing it. Alright, go ahead and apply a little bit more solder. Keep holding it down. Move your iron, hold it down until it dries. Alright, now the other side, and start heating it up. Apply a bit of solder to get it, help it along. Oops. Hold it down with our pliers. Make sure you get good heating on there. Alright. Now apply enough solder so it actually stays in place. Hold it down, move the tip, wait till it cools. Now, at this point, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we don't have any solder balls, like this one here. Let's go ahead and wipe those off, so it's all nice and clean. And make sure that you haven't accidentally shorted anything with any excess solder. Looks like we're fine here. So we're going to go ahead and put our board back together. We'll start with our small screws. Again, making sure that they have the washers. You only need these to be finger tight. You don't need to torque them. Next, we're going to put on our FET bar. Go ahead and just slide that into place. And for right now, all we want to do is get them finger tight. Alright, now that they are all finger tight, what we're going to actually do is go ahead and torque down first one end, then the other. Going in one screw, torquing it down, going back to the other side, torquing down one screw in, and just following that all the way in. Now that we have that done, we're going to want to go ahead and put on our white shield, and then our control board. Lining up the T here, pushing it down until it snaps into place, just like that. Now that you've finished reassembling your Classic, you're ready to go ahead and rewire it. I'm Matt from MidNite Solar, and thank you for watching.